I'm Miriam. I'm sitting in my mother's living room right now, the weight of the night pressing down on me. The room is filled with an eerie silence, broken only by the soft ticking of the clock on the wall. My mother, Grace, is huddled on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, her eyes wide with fear. My younger brother, Leo, is pacing the floor, his face tense. And my childhood friend, Lily, is sitting in the corner, her hands gripping her phone tightly. Just a few hours ago, I was at home, cooking dinner and feeling content. I had spent the afternoon at my mother's house, enjoying a simple backyard lunch with her and Leo. The sun was warm, the air was light, and we were all laughing and joking. Lily had stopped by and offered to take some group photos of us near the new rose bushes. It was a perfect, peaceful moment. But then, everything changed. I sent the photos to my mother from my kitchen, expecting a simple text back. Instead, my phone rang, and I heard my mother crying so hard she could barely breathe. "Who is the extra person in our photo?" she sobbed. I thought she was confused, but when I opened the photo on my phone and zoomed in, I saw it too. A person, standing behind me, looking directly at the camera. The shock of that moment still hasn't worn off. I can't stop thinking about that face, the way it seemed so real, so present. It was like someone had been watching us, waiting for the perfect moment to appear in our photo. As I look around the room now, I can see the fear in everyone's eyes. We're all trying to make sense of what's happening, but nothing seems to add up. Leo keeps checking the windows and doors, making sure they're locked. Lily is constantly looking at her phone, as if expecting another message. And my mother is just sitting there, silent and scared. I know we need to do something, but I'm not sure what. We've called the police, and they're on their way, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to help. I keep thinking about the person in the photo, the way they seem to be watching us. It's like they're playing some kind of game, and we're the pawns. Earlier today, everything was so normal. I had driven to my mother's house, looking forward to a relaxing afternoon. When I arrived, she was in the backyard, tending to her garden. Leo was there too, spraying the flowers with the garden hose and making us laugh. It was a beautiful day, and I felt so happy to be with my family. Lily showed up a little later, and she offered to take some photos of us. We all stood together, smiling for the camera, and she snapped a few shots. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but now I realized that something was off. There was a feeling in the air, a sense of unease that I couldn't quite put my finger on. After the photos were taken, I drove home. I was feeling good, thinking about the nice time we had had. I sent the photos to my mother, and then I started cooking dinner. That's when the phone rang. My mother's voice on the other end of the line was filled with panic. She kept repeating, "Who is that person in the picture?" I tried to calm her down, but I could hear the fear in her voice. I told her to stay in the living room with the lights on, and then I called Leo. When I told Leo what was going on, he didn't believe me at first. He thought I was overreacting. But when I showed him the photo, his face went pale. He could see the extra person too, and he knew that something was very wrong. We decided to go back to my mother's house right away. As I drove there, my mind was racing. I kept thinking about the person in the photo, the way they seemed to be looking at me. It was like they knew something that I didn't. When we arrived at my mother's house, the atmosphere was tense. The house was quiet, and the air felt cold. My mother was sitting on the couch, shaking. She showed us the printed photo she had made earlier, and it was even more disturbing in person. The extra person's face was so clear, so real. It was like they were right there with us. Leo pointed out that the person's shadow was going the wrong way. The sunlight in the photo cast shadows to the right, but the person's shadow fell slightly forward. That detail made the fear inside me twist even deeper. It was like this person didn't follow the normal rules of light or movement. A little while later, Lily arrived. She was as shocked as we were when she saw the photo. She said she had taken 3 photos in a row, and she was sure she hadn't seen anyone behind us. But then she noticed something in the corner of the first photo. The leaves of the backyard bushes were pushed forward slightly, as if someone had brushed through them. That single detail changed everything. It meant that someone had been there, hiding just out of sight, waiting for the right moment to appear in the photo. We knew we had to find out who this person was and what they wanted. Leo grabbed 2 flashlights from the kitchen drawer, and we decided to check the backyard. My mother didn't want us to go, but we knew we had to do something. We stepped outside into the cool night air, and the silence hit me like a wall. The backyard, which had seemed so cheerful and bright earlier that afternoon, now felt dark and foreboding. As we walked towards the rose bushes where we had taken the photos, Leo suddenly stopped. "Look at this," he said, shining his flashlight on the ground. There was a single shoe print pressed deep into the dirt. It was larger than mine or Leo's, and it was fresh. Someone had been standing there recently, close enough to touch us while we were smiling for the camera. We followed the trail of disturbed grass towards the back gate. The gate was slightly open, even though my mother always kept it shut and latched. The metal lock was hanging loosely, as if someone had forced it open without breaking it. Beyond the gate, the alley was dark and empty. But as we shone our flashlights around, we saw more shoe prints and a piece of torn fabric caught on a splinter of wood. It was like a signature left behind, proof that someone had been there. Just as we were trying to decide what to do next, my phone buzzed. It was an unknown number. I hesitated before answering, but then I pressed accept. There was a moment of silence on the other end, and then the call ended. A few seconds later, a message came through. It was a photo, the same backyard photo we had been looking at, but from a different angle. It was taken from behind us, as if someone had been hiding in the bushes. The extra person in the original photo was missing in this one, as if they were the one taking the picture. I felt a wave of nausea wash over me. The idea that someone had been hidden behind us, watching us and taking pictures, was terrifying. I knew then that this wasn't over. Whoever this person was, they wanted us to know they were there. Leo said we needed to call the police immediately, but before he could dial, my phone buzzed again. Another photo came through, this time showing the side of the house. In the corner of the frame, half hidden behind the fence, was the faint outline of a person's shoulder and head. They were watching the house, waiting for the right moment to step forward. The sight of that photo made my entire body tense with fear. I knew we were in danger, and we needed to do something fast. We went back inside the house and waited for the police to arrive. When the police finally came, they listened to our story and looked at the evidence. They said they believed someone had trespassed on the property, and they would increase patrols in the neighborhood. They also advised us to keep the lights on, lock all the doors and windows, and report any strange activity immediately. After the police left, we all sat in the living room, trying to calm down. My mother was still shaken, and she kept saying she never wanted to see that photo again. But she also refused to throw it away, because she wanted to remember how close we had come to danger. Lily offered to stay the night, and I was grateful for her support. Leo brought out extra blankets and pillows, and we made up a makeshift bed on the couch. For a moment, the house felt almost normal again. But as I lay there, trying to sleep, I couldn't stop thinking about the person in the photo. I kept wondering who they were, what they wanted, and if they were still out there, watching us. Around midnight, I got up to get some water. As I walked back towards the living room, my phone buzzed again. My heart jumped. I pulled it out, expecting another anonymous photo. Instead, it was a new number with a short message, "I was there today." I froze. My hands tightened around the phone. The message didn't sound threatening, but it was unmistakably personal. I showed it to Leo and Lily, and they both looked as shocked as I felt. Leo wanted to go outside and check the backyard again, but I stopped him. I realized that the person was trying to play with our minds, to make us chase shadows. The more attention we gave them, the more control they would have. I locked the front door again, this time with a firm calmness. I told Leo we were calling the police back in the morning. I told Lily and my mother we would stay together and take shifts sleeping if needed. I decided that fear wasn't going to control this house. Whatever this person wanted, we were not going to make it easy for them. As I sit here now, waiting for morning to come, I can't help but wonder what the future holds. Will we ever find out who that person was? Will they try to come back? I don't know, but I'm determined to stay strong and protect my family.